presentation, 10 minutes review. So whenever you're ready.
All right, so I'm Dr. Greg Eckerly, the faculty advisor for the Texas A&M Commerce equestrian team and horse judging team. And so within that, we have 4 competing teams that go out, travel interregionally as well as nationally to compete in the name of Texas A&M Commerce. We have a ISHA Western horsemanship team, a equestrian hunt seat team, we are just now trying to invocate a stock horse of Texas team, as well as a just regular stock horse team that will travel into the Oklahoma circuit. And our intercollegiate horse judging team will travel nationally to horse judging competitions. These teams will travel, and they do require a coach in the form of a graduate assistant. That graduate assistant will be their mentor through the coaching process, as well as further their advancement through education and obtaining a master's degree. And then apart from gaining the skills within the teams, the judging formats will look at communication and leadership skills. Through that, they can go out and openly judge horse shows throughout the state of Texas, as well as their home territory, wherever they come from, if they're from out of state. That provides them with career development opportunity, as well as brings a recruitment station to those students come wanting to look for universities that do participate in livestock horse judging and those means of communication, as well as events. We do cater to the FFA and 4-H organizations in the state of Texas. The 4-H organization in Texas has one of the strongest showings within the horse industry. They have some of the best horse judges and horse competitors available, and so these teams serve as a huge recruiting tool for the School of Agriculture, as well as the university as a whole, because these teams are open to any student as long as they are enrolled in Texas A&M Commerce. So if a student is interested in multidisciplinary studies, they can still equitate and come and compete for us in these manners. These are athletes, and so for such, we're looking at moving forward with providing their housing and a minimal per diem so they can eat while they're on the road. Some aspects of their entry fees, as we know, if we have more competitors, the entry fees get diluted out. As of right now, we have 5 competitive riders, and so individual fees are cheaper than the team fee. So those will also be covered under the fee. And as for the horse judging team, those will be able to compete in the area. Again, community and leadership are big parts of these teams. They go out, look for students. The graduate student responsibility will be coaching, mentorship, and as well as partly recruitment with the new equine faculty member. And so with that recruitment, they will look mainly within the Texas F or 4-H program. The FFA program doesn't do horsemanship. And so we will look at those events to be named later, depending on the calendar dates in which they set. So a big part of it will be recruitment, as well as looking forward to gain leadership and communication skills. The team currently has about 60 members. Actually, the club itself, of that, we have 15 competitors. The stock horse team probably could grow to about 30 competitors if they want to. That is more of an open competition where minimal horsemanship skills are available. And the intercollegiate horse judging team holds at 5 members, 4 actual judges and 1 alternate, just based on the regulations of the actual judging team. And then we can, with a graduate student, work up with a team, varsity and JV team per se, and allow them to further their knowledge in that arena.
Okay, let's open up for questions.
How did you fund the equestrian team last year?
Last year we did receive minimal funding from student service fees. I think ended up with about $20,000, and so most of that went to the judging team itself, and as well as the graduate student was partially funded. We finished that funding through making that graduate student a graduate GTA, teaching assistant, so they were an instructor of record. Our plan is to maintain that with her, so she will be, or they will be, partially funded because she's rolling off stipend, partially funded through the student service fees as well as through the department through being teacher of record. Yes.
So, I think that you have mentioned that it does serve as a recruiting opportunity for students on this campus in Texas and Commerce as a whole. But can you say how many students have been brought in through events?
Through this event, we've probably brought in with the current team probably about 15 from UNT or NTC. I always mess up their name. NTC, whatever. NCTC. I always mess it up. We've brought in about 15 students coming in there that want to further their education, post the associate's program that they offer there, to finish the bachelor's. It's close to home, and so it allows them that capability instead of going over to Canyon or Lubbock or down College Station. So it is a regional, but also we can pull students in. So we do have a nice pool from associates programs in the area.
Looking at that same recruiting line within the budget, it's always been my impression recruiting is primarily the function of academic colleges. Has the School of Ag contributed any financial support towards this recruiting endeavor?
Not to my knowledge. I just started last August. Maggie might know a little more.
I serve as a recruiter for the School of Ag,
Yeah.
and I recruit every single major. So yes. So when I go out and recruit, we use tools like this to recruit students. So when I'm talking about academic programs, we use things like the Equestrian Club, Collegiate FFA, the rodeo team, things like that to recruit students. Agriculture is a little bit different beast because it's not an academic program, it's a way of life. And so when schools come, when a horse kid comes to school, they don't study horses, they want to do horses.
Sure.
Right? So, but Dr. Erkley, I'll let you handle that. But I just want to say, yes, the School of Ag supports it in my salary. I mean,
Yeah, no, we do it there, and then just because of the fact, if I have somebody that needs to go out, say our graduate student can go judge a show, and if we could support those funds out there, that judge gets the name, be it good or bad, depending on the judging situation. I've been on cuss the judge myself, I've been cussed out. But it's just one of those where, good or bad, indifferent, that judge brings a name and a caliber, and so if we have more visual recruitment opportunities to get out there and speak to students or individuals at equestrian competitions throughout the state, we allow that in the budget. That's what we're looking for. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to make sure also that we touch on these because this equestrian club doesn't only serve students with ag major, right?
Right, yeah, it's open to anybody. If they want to join, if they have an interest, they're more than welcome to. We have one of our Hunt Seat competitors, I believe she is, what is Sydney's major?
music.
I think it is music, yeah, and then another one's a business major, and she's actively competing. So it's not just a closed off School of Ag only opportunity, it's an opportunity for any student that has equestrian skills and willing to come out and try.
Was it Shannon?
What's that?
The business major Shannon?
No, it's Sydney. I forget her last name off the top of my head.
So being in a tight fiscal year for the university and the state, if you were not to be funded in full, what are some things that you would look at cutting?
Probably the entry fees would probably be one, and then I really make the students think about their competitions. I have listed 8 in there per fiscal year, and so it's just kind of one of those where maybe we might not participate in a few of those. I feel the graduate student is partial just because graduate education and graduate funding could do that. A lot of our other competitors, and that's a good recruitment to get a graduate student in. So that'd probably be cut theirs down, make them teach more, and then reappropriate the funds, and then probably look at less and regional horse competitions for the judging team, and try to get them on the national scale with a few of the regionals. So cutting back on the number of competitions, coming back.
Dr. Eckerly?
Yes, ma'am.
These students go and represent TAMUC.
Yes.
They're wearing TAMUC vests,
No.
but they're competing under TAMUC name.
That is correct.
Okay.
That'll be the next presentation.
Some of them, like the stock horse, yeah, I was gonna say the stock horse, they'll wear vests.
We do not.
Yeah,
No, just because we don't have them.
because you don't have them.
We don't have them.
But it's still, it's a team.
Yes, it's a team.
TAMUC team.
Yes,
So not funding them would be like asking the football team
correct.
to buy their own pads,
Exactly.
drive
Yeah.
themselves to.
Yeah, and that's the one-time funds coming up in my next little.
Yeah, he's got the next
Yeah.
slot for
And
that.
so that's covering getting uniforms
Well,
for those competitors.
I'm just saying, we're asking these students to compete under and
Under our-
represent and
we
recruit
are.
for Texas A&M Commerce.
Exactly are.
So if they're not funded, they pay for it out of their own pocket,
Most of them
still
do.
representing Texas
Yes.
A&M Commerce.
Yes, most of them do pay out of their own pocket, entry fees,
Yeah.
travel fees. This year, we were only giving them 1 meal a day, so they either didn't eat, which I yelled at them for, because I was like, y'all make sure they eat, or they pack their lunch from the hotel, so, from the free breakfast. So I was like, y'all go eat, like, let's make sure you're getting food, I don't want you to do that, but.
And then how does this does this experience prepare them for a career?
Most of them it does, especially the judging competitions. Those are really big on communication and giving your reasons, really polishing that, continuing that off. The equitation, most of them can go into training fields, also coming back. I have one student who wants to come back, do her master's, and appropriate for the coaching position with us. And so it gives them those opportunities, and then they can go into being ag extension, ag careers within the local offices. I'll get to you. And then be a coach for their extension offices. Yes, sir.
Now, coming from a family that actually, horses were a very important part, it is close to my heart, but I'm also kind of curious on I guess the ability and have you taken the opportunity to discuss with local local co-ops, like groups that focus on equestrian matters, for funding, for support? Curious, because I know that
Yeah.
the university itself, with the athletic department, has partnered with Under Armour. I'm not sure if there's limitations, so can you speak on that?
Yeah, based on my knowledge of coming from corporate America, first off, before I came back to academia, it's very difficult for corporations to give up money for student groups if they're not seeing a benefit realized for themselves. I think part of where we need to be is establishing ourselves as an entity with a name. We're not College Station.
Right.
If I was College Station, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to go to Adidas and get everything paid for right away because I have the Texas A&M brand.
Right.
Right now, we're still developing that brand in this arena, and so if we can develop that brand in a positive manner based on all the negative setbacks we have had with our equestrian program over the past 3 years, we can push that forward and get some local incentives coming back, but we have to establish the brand first. Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying you could cut down on the number of competitions, but that interferes with establishing a brand?
It does,
So it
and then
defeats
also, we do have one national champion on our team, and if I cut back competitions, it cuts back her ability to earn points to move forward to national, and so she was one step away this year, but she didn't qualify, she was short a couple points, but if I cut back her opportunity to make points, then it cuts back the opportunity to build a brand as well. Yes, sir.
What efforts have y'all made to secure donations or endowments from alumni in order to help support these programs?
We're currently doing that actively as a club. They just got $500 from the electrical co-op out of Sulphur Springs. We're looking for other avenues to help support that. Part of it is we're trying to get the checking account so Chase Bank doesn't take money away from us every month.
Sure.
And so I've told them get a minimum balance in there and then work forward. But we are looking as a club ourselves at independent fundraising opportunities within the area.
Yeah, I just wondered if y'all had talked with, Mary Bonnet being from Sulphur Springs, obviously one of our largest names in the region for,
I will
You know,
tell you
equine
that
opportunities.
situation is very tense at the moment. So probably I'll go talk to Mary.
yeah.
Does the club pay dues, and if so, do you guys offset some of the expenses of these travels with the club dues?
They do, and right now we've been in conversation about raising those dues. I know NCTC, I finally got it right, is their dues are a little bit more expensive. Part of that is because of the inclusive nature and some of the, if we increase our dues too far, we're probably going to lose the membership. Am I for that? Probably a little bit, just because I think NCTC is more competitive, and I believe in the competitive nature of a sports team. And so if we do get the dues to help offset, I would. And I think they did increase dues this past meeting up to about $80 per person, but that's covering some of the basic functions of the club itself to maintain the membership as well.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Got about a minute left for Dr. Eckerly.
Yes.
What would you say is and I know that agriculture is a section of our community, of our university, but what do you say is the benefit of this organization to the student body?
To the student body, I think one of the biggest things that this brings is another competitive outlet for students who have a passion for the equine industry. They can come in regardless of background, participate, provides diversity within the campus culture from that aspect. And then furthering, it is a leadership development skill on the judging side. So we have two facets that we're bolstering the community and the stakeholdership of who we report to. Being a system school, part of the land grant systems, we do have a responsibility back to that, and we can bolster that through these events as well.
How many students are involved right now?
We have about 60 members, active competitors, roughly about 15. Because they do try out, so they're active.
Okay, time's up for this go round. Now we're gonna hear the equestrian team's one-time request for funding. I don't have one. I just. We're jacked up the.